Three girls watching TV shows, and some of it's good and some of it blows. And when we finish the movies, yeah, we need a scotch, and we turn to each other and say, what did we just watch?
Okay,
Hey!
hello, folks. Welcome
Hello, hello, welcome.
to another episode.
Hello.
Ah,
Oh, he's just going for it.
um, no, we didn't replace Emily with Emily's not doing a male impression. This is actually my
Not doing
brother.
blackface.
Yeah, what were
Oh,
you thinking, Kiana?
wait, hold on.
We can't cancel Emily.
That is true. That is true. My brother is here with us to talk about a movie that he decided to pick called Red Sonja. It just got a 2025 uh update, but we watched the original 1985 film. Um, before we go into why he decided to traumatize us in this kind of way, obviously we gotta read the summary, but before we do that, do we want to share any life updates or anything? There's nothing really going on with me personally
Me,
right now.
yeah, no. But we should send a message to Emily that if Donovan does well, I don't know.
Yeah, she might.
She's in for replacing maybe.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm
like
I'm not here to replace. I'm just here to enjoy
and elevate.
and elevate. Exactly.
Yeah,
To bring my thoughts to y'all, to the audience.
oh
That's the
yeah.
PR answer, Emily. We're gonna see how it goes.
Okay, so the movie's actually insane for a 90-minute film. I personally could not take any notes because if I would have read my notes, you guys would have been absolutely confused.
I
So,
didn't even offer. Once it started, I was like,
I tried. I
"Oh, you
started writing
try."
stuff. I tried, and it's funny because like halfway down is when I stopped, but then I started writing something else entirely different, which is why the page is all filled out. Because at the end, I started writing the story that I was going to tell y'all later. So
okay. Okay, so from Wikipedia, also trigger warning for this movie, there is sexual assault and
Literally right away.
right away.
off the jump, and
And
it's never mentioned, it's never brought up or
They
anything
just
throughout the
didn't need to
movie.
do it. Anyways, go
um
on, go on, go on.
So Sonia, a young red-haired woman, is gang raped and left for dead by soldiers of Queen Gidrin, who murdered Sonia's parents and her brother after Sonia had rejected the queen's sexual advances and scarred Gidrin's face, which is the queen. Answering Sonia's cries for revenge, a female spirit appears and gives her a heightened sword fighting skills on the condition that she never lie with a man unless he defeats her in fair combat. She trains under the warriors of a sword master called the Grandmaster, which I guess that's his name. I didn't know his name at all.
Played by Pat Roach.
And mistrusts nearly all other men. At a nearby temple, Varna, Sonya's sister, is in an order of priestesses preparing to banish the talisman, a mystical light powered relic that created the world and all living things. The talisman can be used and touched only by women. Men vanish if they touch it, and has become too powerful to control. However, Gidrin's army and her aide de camp, Akol, intervene, slaughtering most of the priestesses, and shield maidens before they can imprison the talisman in permanent darkness. Varna watches Gidrin steal the talisman and throw the surviving priestesses in the vault that contain it before escaping, but is mortally wounded. She's discovered by Kaldor, the Lord of Hydrocania. Um, again, guys, would not have been
Anyone's
able.
guess, anyone's guess. I don't know.
Um,
Didn't tell us, so.
who looks for Sonia and brings her to Varna. Before dying, Varna tells Sonia to find the talisman and send it into darkness before it ravages the world with storms and earthquakes. Kaldor offers to accompany Sonia, who rejects the offer. After witnessing the talisman in use, Sonia arrives in the now ruined kingdom of Half Block. Um, she meets the young Prince Tarn and his servant bodyguard Falcon. Gidrin used the talisman to devastate Hablock when Tarn refused to surrender. Tarn wants to crush Gidrin and invites Sonya to be his cook. She declines before being told that Gidron is based in Burkubane, the land of perpetual night. Arriving at the mountain gate, Sonja fights the Lord Brightag after he refuses her passage for not paying him a tender tribute. When she kills him and takes his key, his troops surround her. Caldor, who has secretly followed Sonja, attacks their rear, allowing her to escape. Sonja comes across Tarn again, being tortured by bandits. He frees Tarn and kills the bandits with Falcon. They decide to travel together towards Birkubane, and Tarn takes Sonya's advice and learn good manners over sword practice. Gitrin's wizard uses a magic screen to show the approaching party. The magic in this? We'll talk about it, but like the magic doesn't make any sense either.
Also, the magic screen, I did not notice the first time I watched it. The magic screen had like a dancing woman
A
before
naked
it showed
dancing,
up. I completely missed that the first time that I watched
like a
this.
loading
So
screen.
yeah,
Yes.
like it is not explained. Like you said, it's not explained. It's just like
It's because it's a gay queen.
sparks.
They said
I,
anti-gay people in this movie, which we'll talk about
They
more.
really did.
um, So Gidrin recognizes Sonia and orders that she be brought to the fortress unharmed. Using the talisman to conjure a storm, she forces Sonia's group to take shelter in a watery cavern in Ictilin, where Gidrin's dragon-like killing machine is unleashed. Caldor appears again and helps Sonia blind the mechanical beast so they can escape. At this point, we are an hour into this film, and I have this much text to read for this plot. We have 20
We
minutes left,
we
guys.
have to talk about the pacing. Like I said, we just have to.
Okay, so Sonia accepts Caldor's company after learning that he is descended from the Lores who entrusted the talisman to the temple. He flirts with her, so she warns him that no man can have me unless he defeats her. Caldor challenges her, and they sword fight to a draw. Literally all night. They are sword fighting all night. Um, Despite Tarn's attempts to hobble Caldor, the party arrives at Castle Birkubane, and to protect Tarn, they convince him to stay behind and guard the front entrance. Ickcole, realizing Gitrin is insane when she refuses his pleas to stop using the unstable relic, plans to escape with bags of Hablok's gold. Sonya confronts Gitrin in her council chamber and kills her wizard, while Caldor and Falcon deal with her guards in the castle's dining hall. Ickcole is stopped by Tarn at the entrance and is crushed to death by the door. Overpowered by Sonya, Gitrin flees to the Chamber of Lights, where the talisman is stored. Now powerful beyond control, the talisman causes the floor to split open and reveal a chasm of molten lava, dealing Gitrin
Ah!
Dueling Gitrin, Sonya runs her through with her sword, sending the queen plunging into the lava below. Sonya throws the talisman in after her, destroying it and starting a chain reaction that tears Castle Birkubane apart. The heroes escape as a rising volcano consumes the castle. Sonya and Caldor kiss after the inconclusive sword fight, while Tarn and Falcon ride back to Hablok to rebuild. And that is Red Sonja, 1985, directed by Richard was Fleischer.
Fleischer? I don't know.
this was his second to last movie in his career.
What was his
But
last movie?
he'd been working in Hollywood for like 40 years at this point. So
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
looked at his birth year, and it was 1916. So that man was
16?
that man was like
Whoa.
7 years old, being like, "Come on, guys." But yeah, before we get
Well,
into it, Donovan, why did you
yeah,
force
Don,
us
what's
to?
going on?
a couple of weeks ago at work, I worked the night shift at a TV station. So I'm always at my computer, just kind of doing nothing because it's not as busy as you would think it is. And while I'm working, I always watch a movie or I watch just YouTube or something while I'm sitting at my desk. And YouTube movies, every once in a while, they make a bunch of movies free, and I had cycled through a few movies. At this point, I watched Superman, Batman, Doomsday, or not. Yeah, that's the one with Supergirl. Um, Crisis
No,
on Two
that you
Earths.
watch Enemies.
No, Public Enemies. No, Public Enemies is the first one. Public is
Doomsday is
two. It was remember it's two. Public Enemies is the one where they're on the run,
yes.
and then the one with Apocalypse, Superman Batman
Yeah.
Apocalypse. Yeah.
Sorry.
Um.
Doomsday's the
I
one
watched.
where they have Batman has all the contingency plans. That's
No,
Justice
that's
League.
just Doom. That's just Justice League Doom.
Oh, okay.
So I watched. Anyways, I had watched that. I watched Crisis on Two Earths. I watched Tombstone, and I actually just recently watched Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Good one.
But
I know
this had popped
we
up.
actually need to watch Looney Tunes Back in Action again.
It's
It's
a
great.
really
It's a great
and you
movie.
know it's really good for like maybe 60% of the movie. Then the last half of it is kind of just like whatever. But like everything that me and Kiana used to like quote back and forth to each other is from like the first 50 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. No, it has a solid first half for sure.
But I had come across this particular movie because I had wanted to see the 2025 reboot in theaters, but it was only in theaters for one day, and it was the day that I was working, so I couldn't get out to see it. It's on
Dang.
video on demand, but I'm not buying that. So until when it hits HBO at the end of the year is when I'll probably watch it. But I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try because I had kind of been reading about the character and like very similar in background to the character of Angela from Spawn, who started off as a completely separate character and then was later integrated into Marvel Comics. Same thing with Red Sonja. She just randomly integrated into Marvel Comics like sometime after this movie had came out, and she was a part of. I want to say she was a part of that Phoenix storyline, Kiana, that I've told you about, where the Phoenix put everybody in a white hot room and it had a battle royale to figure out who would be the next host. She was in it, and I don't know why.
Fought to the death? Damn.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, go
like
on.
a
Sorry.
queen bee.
No, she was in it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So
I did a little bit of initial research on the character, and Mary Jane
I was gonna ask you.
Used her as an alias, Mary Jane
that's
Watson.
When she first like got brought over into Marvel, she was like a descendant. Mary Jane is a descendant of her, so she had powers at one point. The many times she's had powers in comics.
Mary Jane.
That's so funny. I didn't know that.
But like, this is a part of the universe of the Conan Barbarian kind of series.
Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna ask about that. I was like, where are they appearing? Did you read any of the comics, or you just were like doing like either of you?
I didn't.
Because I was just curious, like what the characterization is like there, or if they like dive into it in the same way, or like how much creative liberty was taken for this movie. I'm curious.
Well, a lot, because I was just looking at it a second ago, and it was like the actual like the movie itself is based off of the original like short story. And in the short story by Robert E. Howard, Red Sonja is a gunslinging warrior woman of Polish-Ukrainian descent with a grudge against the Ottoman Sultan.
You know,
okay, we're not. Yeah, no, we're not there.
But like the way they were dressing the bad guys, I can kind of see how they were making the connection to like the way the like outfits
to Ottoman.
Yeah, or like
okay,
or like I don't know if that makes sense. Like I feel like they were dressing them in a way that was like specifically like not Ottoman, but like I was like, why are they dressed in like all these different things? But like Red Sonja is like naked.
Yes.
Which apparently is like a part of her character.
Being naked?
She wears a chainmail bikini. That's like a part of her character.
But is that because she's written by a man?
Did a man? I was literally just like, did a man write this story? What's the thing? Giving Stephen King writing about women.
Oh God. Discovering that Stephen King,
reading Carrie and like every 5 fucking paragraphs a boob was mentioned. I'm like, settle down. First of all, she's in high school. Second of all, it's a horror. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, sorry.
No, Stephen King
Steven.
When I discovered that Shawshank Redemption is based off a
Yes.
short story of Stephen King, I said, "There's too much. He has had too much."
Short stories are
But
really so powerful, I
you
guess,
could,
between Red Sonja and Stephen King.
I think you can go back in like the last 40 years, Kiana, and there's probably the most popular Stephen King stories have had a 80s or 90s remake and then like a 2010s, 2020s
Yeah.
remake. Which is funny that
Yes.
The Long Walk is now just being made into a movie. Because that was his first story that he wrote.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Kiana,
heard
you
it's
maybe
really
have told me
good.
that. It looks like it was really good. Like I was very interested in watching it. I actually saw it. Well, we went to go see Weapons again. I haven't seen the trailer yet, I don't think. Or maybe I have, but I don't remember seeing it. And after it played, I was like, that looks great. And Rachel was like, that looks awful. I was like, oh no.
That was actually one of the movies that when I made a list of movies that I need to see for the rest of the year, and I was like, I don't really care about that. But then all the reviews started coming out, and I'm like,
Yeah, people are saying like
I
it's
gotta see
actually
it now.
really good. But I don't think it's because of Stephen King's writing and more of like the actors in it. But
The
anyways,
monkey certainly wasn't Stephen King's
oh
writing
yeah,
at the end of the movie, but
the
Cooper
monkey.
Hoffman, David Johnson, next man up. I like to see them in more stuff.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
wait, what were we talking about?
Yeah, back
Donovan,
to the
why did you
movie.
force it? You haven't told us why
I'll
you
cut that.
wanted
I'll
us
cut that.
to.
Because I felt like I was
Oh
watching
yeah.
this movie and
Let's get to the meat
I
of
was
it.
captivated by the music is pretty good in this movie. I don't know if anyone
The
noticed.
music was
Like
good. I
Yeah.
noticed
the
that
music is
too. The music was
really good in
sick.
this movie.
I mean,
And
quite frankly, the creative vision was there. Like I was feeling the fantasy. The set
Yeah.
design was really good. The costuming was good. And honestly, there were times where I was like, this shot is like actually breathtaking. But what
and
it's surrounding is just so crazy.
and I was thinking that too, but then it really occurred to me is that like, oh, this is the 80s. They actually had to make movies like tangible back
Those
then. So of
practical
course it
effects,
looks good.
baby. Wow, you
So
really are Kiana's sibling because the last podcast we did, Kiana was like, practical effects, which I agree with, but it
I
was
mean,
just
there was one
funny.
particular scene where they showed the castle, Gedron's castle, and it was definitely like a matte painting. Like the
Yeah.
background was a matte, but the foreground was like an actual building. And I was like, yeah, that they don't make movies like. And
No.
I say this
They're not
every time
problem
I
solving
see.
shit anymore. They're like not trying to figure out anything.
I say this every time I see a movie that's It sounds so insane. Um, like anything made before 2010, I'm like, wow, they really don't make movies like this anymore. And then I have to stop myself because it's like, I mean, they still kind of do. You just got to watch them. But
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
I
certain.
was
that's
like,
true. It's
Yeah.
like maybe not block, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, the music is good, the set design is good, and but like the actual story and the movie itself,
Terrible.
I can't even call it patchwork. It's just not. It's
It
non-existent.
doesn't
It
exist.
feels like the movie has so many different ideas and like tropes that it feels like 20-minute or like 11-minute episodes where
It
like
does. It felt
things are
episodic for sure. That's why the pacing is so fucked. Is because they didn't have any vision for the whole story, and they
It
were
was
just trying to like fit in their little chunks of plot.
point A, the point B, the point C, D. Like it was
Yes, it was all over the
everything in the
place.
middle, non-connective.
everything in the middle. I was like, how is this what is like I guess I missed like the point of this movie. So like halfway through when she's like
The
fighting.
point is that we need to trust men. We saw
That is true.
this.
I'm sorry.
That's the other crazy part was so women centered. Like they had a chance
Yeah.
to like make it something really iconic, but then they just the real tea is that they just wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger to have a role. That's what
Well,
I think. So the funny story you were talking about
the
earlier.
the
Okay,
funny
okay.
story that I
Yes, let's
mentioned
hear
in the
it.
chat was
Yes.
that Richard Fleischer and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dino De Laurentiis, which he produced the movie. They did Conan. That was Richard Fleischer's last like previous movie before he did Red Sonja. So according to
Oh.
IMDb trivia, which is always hit or miss, you never know how what where to get his information from. But the story goes is that Dino De Laurentiis and Arnold Schwarzenegger did Conan together. Arnold signed a long like studio deal with DEG Entertainment, which Kiana, if you remember, they also did the Transformers the movie. They produced they distributed that.
Okay.
So Dino was like, "Hey, Arnold, I need you. Quick favor, I need you to star in this movie." Arnold's like, yeah, sure, I'll do you a favor. Like, you're my guy. And Arnold Schwarzenegger quickly realized, he was like, I've been on set for 4 weeks. This is not a quick cameo. And then eventually it came out that he was like the co-lead in the movie. Like, if you look at the poster for the movie,
He's in the background.
He's bigger.
He's bigger than her.
Bigger than Bridget
I have to
Nielsen.
look it up. Wait, what?
He is the background, and she's in the foreground, but she's in the foreground like this, and he's in the background like this. And
oh my god, he's bigger.
That's not what he signed up for, and he broke off his deal with DEG after 2 movies. And then he got
bamboozled, so that's crazy.
But then he still did in the next year, because this is 1985. So then in 1986, he does Raw Deal, which is the only movie he does that year, and it doesn't really do that good. Like, it's not. It's like critics review, and it only made like 16 million on a budget of like 8 million. DG files for bankruptcy, but like they don't close completely. They're still active for a couple of years after that, and this leads them to dropping off of the Total Recall movie. That Dino De Laurentiis was apparently, that was a passion project for him, and they were trying to get that off the ground. And
he also stars in that one.
Yes, but Dino De Laurentiis didn't want him in that movie. So when DEG files for bankruptcy, they sell it to, oh God, I probably should write this down, but they sold it to...
They spent all their money on that damn set design in Red Sonja.
The set is great. The set costumes,
they sold it to the TriStar and Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then cast Arnold Schwarzenegger in the lead role of that movie.
Yeah, in the 80s, huh?
No, this is peak. When did Predators
so
come 80s. Out?
Oh God, I started watching Predator last week.
Did
for
the
first time. Yeah, like halfway through, I was like, but I need to finish it. It's like it was so 80s in a way that I just wasn't ready for, and I was like, I'm just not in the mood right now. But it wasn't bad. It was just not my vibe at the time. But like, I'll get back to it.
The 80s was peak Arnold. Like, Arnold was like throwing out movies left and right. Like, this is prime Arnold.
Yes. I mean, I'm getting into the fantasy though. Like, the 80s, they were really just doing anything, and I really respect that.
But like in the 80s, he did 2 Conan movies: The Terminator, Commando, Predator, and The Running Man. And Total Recall is 1990. Like,
so he was like
breaking into the movies.
I was gonna say, like, with 80s,
RoboCop.
the 80s being a crazy time, also with ratings, because like watching this film, like, again, we mentioned there's like heavy sexual assault, and then like blood
they're out. Showing it right away. They're showing the blood. Also, now with like the effects we have, like, you look at a movie like that where the blood is like so red, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, so red.
It looks like silly, but I'm like, then I guess,
Yeah. But like there was at least 2 decapitations in this movie. And I was like,
for
what
sure.
Is this rated?
At minimum.
And I was like, this is rated PG-13. Can you imagine your middle school child being like, oh, I'm going to go see Red Sonja, and being like,
that shit would shape you.
Do you know the story with the MPAA in the rating system, right?
No, but you can tell us.
No, I don't. But let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Steven Spielberg makes The Temple of Doom in 1984, and anyone who's seen, I'm assuming y'all seen Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Temple of Doom is so dark, and he was going through a divorce at the time, so and when you know that, and then go back and watch the movie, the way he treats, I think not Marion, the way he treats the female lead in that movie is so bad. Like, and apparently she was based off of his ex-wife too. So like, that's a whole thing.
Of course.
That's a whole thing.
Why don't we go to therapy instead of like using your actual job to like...
Noah Baumbach writing Marriage Story.
Zach Kreger wrote Weapons after his friend died. Like,
I know.
Sometimes you don't need therapy.
Right. He's real for that though.
Temple of Doom is really, really dark. Like, it's child slavery, Indonesian cults and everything, like the whole 9 yards.
You're right. And, that's a good. I need to go back and see it through that lens. Honestly,
the movie was rated PG.
That's crazy. Okay, that's crazy.
And also Gremlins 2, like the fantasy violence in it was a little higher than they wanted it to be, so they cut some stuff out, got it a PG rating, and that's a PG movie. But Temple of Doom is a PG-13 movie, and they did not have it was GPGR. There was nothing in the middle
Oh.
until Temple of Doom and Gremlins came out in '84, and then
Oh
this is the
God, they were
next
like, we
year,
have to figure a
'85.
solution out.
There has to be an in between between PG and rated R.
I'm
That's actually
dead.
kind of crazy because I remember watching Gremlins the first time as a child because this is when our parents used to do Netflix, but when they bought like the
Like
DVD
the DVD
to your
come
house.
delivered.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
watched it because we were on this like kick of watching old movies. So we had watched like Karate Kid, Back to the Future, all of those. We watched Gremlins, and me and Donovan were like, "This movie's
This is scary.
disturbing." Yeah, so like I thought
What
they
are
were
your
just
parents saying? Just like they were
I think
vibes?
they were like, I don't think we've ever seen this movie before. I
They
think they,
regretted
Yeah, because they
everything.
would have
yes,
been like 14 and 15 at the time that
yeah,
Oh
movie
yeah,
came
true.
out.
Like they wouldn't have.
yeah. I think they
That's so
genuinely were
funny.
like, I don't think we've ever actually seen this movie, so I'm sorry.
We have to take a moment to like you guys should be thankful that your parents were so cultured for you guys.
I
Like
mean,
you're growing up the media you guys watch. Kiana knows this about my family, but my mom didn't watch movies and my dad only liked certain movies. So like all of my movie knowledge as a kid was like my dad like Saving Private Ryan, crazy as a kid.
that's a
Full
great
Metal
movie, though.
Jacket, even crazier as a kid. And Quentin Tarantino. So I'm coming in with a
Wow.
really toxic energy to college. And then you guys had such a well-rounded, your parents are like, let's educate the children.
It is
Don't
funny
take
that you
that
say
shit for
that.
granted.
It's funny that you say that because I honestly do not think our parents watched movies growing up like that either.
No,
So,
Gosh, so then they were like breaking the generational cycle. They're like, we're going to
I
watch
think,
movies.
yeah, like we had like one of our main family bonding things was like watching movies on Fridays.
Friday nights.
I
So we
love
would
that.
like watch like I said, we watched Karate Kid. They would only show us movies that they wanted to watch though. So we like only
Yeah.
watched like the staples, but we've never like seen like we didn't watch like John Hughes movies. So like college is when I got introduced to The Breakfast Club for the first
Oh,
time and
yeah,
all that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. We didn't watch like war movies, so I college is when we watched Full Metal Jacket, and everyone's like, "Wow, I love this movie," and I'm like, "This movie's
And you're
insane."
like, huh?
Me thinking watching Stanley Kubrick is normal.
So there's like certain movies. We also watched a lot of comic book movies. Our parents did not like let us watch rated R movies. So like rated R movies was not. So that's why I also think they were surprised by Gremlins because they're like, "Oh, it's PG-13. I mean PG." And they're like, "Wait a minute. This vibe
Yeah.
is like we would not have shown our 7-year-old son this movie if it was rated appropriately."
It's funny like that the conversation about ratings too, because I feel like I'm trying to think about what it was. There's because in my school when we like show a movie or whatever, which you don't do that often, like
Hmm.
you know, the classic like before the end of the year movie or whatever, when everyone's like done, we can only show G movies. And so I was like, well, like running through my favorites. And I think Lilo and Stitch maybe actually was the movie. I think that's like 2000s, right? Like early
Yeah.
2000s, like in the and it
Two-
was
At least 2001 or two.
and
I
I
think
think
two because it was
I
after
thought it
that.
was G or something and it was PG. But then when I actually watched the movie, I was like, oh yeah, like this is talking about a child like getting taken by CPS. Like the
Yeah.
rating makes sense. But I don't know, it was just even to me, like as a kid, you're like, oh, I think this would be less intense than it is. Like the rating was surprising to me. I don't know. So I
The
watched it when I was
NPW
little, but I don't remember taking that away from it, I
Yeah.
guess. So maybe I was like, that's why it's G, but then it wasn't. So
the MPAA is also like very, what's the word, like crazy with their ranking ratings because the first cut of Avengers was rated R, and
R.
the only thing they changed out was that they CGI'd some of the blood out of the scene when Coulson dies.
Oh.
But that was it.
Interesting.
There was nothing else in the movie
Huh.
that made it R other than that.
That's
That's interesting.
crazy.
Yeah, because like there's so many different like a lot of horror movies are trying to get PG-13 ratings so they can be seen by more people, like
Yeah.
that kind of
No
thing.
way. I'm sorry. Virginia Tech fired their head coach.
That's crazy.
and
Not Brett.
UC
Breaking.
and UCLA.
No,
At the
that's
same
actually
time.
great because they just got destroyed by Old Dominion last night. Like
Last night, right?
genuinely like trampled on.
Dang.
Sorry guys. This is a
Guys,
movie
we've
podcast.
fallen so far from Red Sonja. We have to.
Okay, we're going back. We're going back. Okay. So let's
Okay,
start from the beginning. We want to talk about so the beginning of this movie is very 80s. Like
Yes.
literally wall text for us
Three
like
bitches with
scrolling.
ADHD trying to do a podcast.
This is
Sorry,
why
I'll
we
cut
need
that. I'll cut that.
we
I'll
need
cut that.
we need Emily back. This is why we need Emily.
You're so right. We need one neurotypical at the function.
Wait, was she the one that kept everything straight?
Not really, actually.
No, but like
No.
I
But
feel
it
like
felt
we're a
it
little-
felt like she did in a way.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is that when I do this with my friends, I'm the one that has to keep everybody straight. Like I don't want to.
And
I
you
don't
know
want to
we're
ruin.
fucked.
I don't want to ruin the flow of the conversation, so I'm down to talk about anything.
Okay, we'll go back. Okay, so scroll over wall text. First of all, the wall text completely so fast that I literally like blinked and it was gone. I was
And
like,
it's also
oh, so
like it's like 2 sentences stretched over like 3 paragraphs.
they illegible too. I genuinely was like, well, yeah, but it's okay because it wasn't that important because the thing that they said in that text, they literally told us verbatim by a crazy spirit woman that like really doesn't like a force
explained.
ghost. It was so fast and abrupt that I like was trying to take notes, and that's when I gave up. Then the first 5 minutes, I was like, "There's no way,
That's
and this
like
is how
5
the whole
minutes into the
movie's gonna
movie.
be."
I wrote down. I said I forgot how crazy the beginning exposition dump is because it's like you said, it's random force ghost woman who is like never explained.
No.
Wall
Because
of
I
text-
thought we'd hear like a little bit about the legacy, like how she came to be, like any kind of like backstory.
when
I
I
was like
just
just waiting for it, honestly.
when I discovered that her later down the line, we realized that a sister survives and she's a priestess. So I was like, was that her priestess sister earlier? No, it wasn't. I was just trying to make sense of what was going on.
You love to do that, Kiana. You always try to be rationalizing whatever happens in movies that make no sense.
Yeah, I genuinely try to always be like, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you always do.
Sometimes movies just don't even need to make sense.
No.
Because what is this talisman? Where does it come from? What can it do?
We have to talk about the talisman scene because
Why?
it's so funny.
Why was a group of men entrusted to guard? Like, why was it entrusted to Caldor and his priests when it works against men? Like, what are we doing here?
The talisman scene is so crazy because like
So funny.
first of all, they just placed us in this like priestess scene. No sort of like background. We're like, I was literally like
In the exposition dump, like not one mention. It's just all so funny to me.
all these women come up. They're like, okay, time to put the talisman. It's like evil. We need to put it back, lock it up.
We need to seal it away.
Because women have sense to know when to stop. They're
Unlike
like,
men.
this is unlike
Well, that's
men.
not true because the one lady that's doing this had no sense to stop.
But this movie's homophobic. We've already discussed this.
Oh wait, hold on. Before we like get back to the talisman scene, when I was talking about this movie with Donovan was like, "Oh yeah, there's this gay. There's like an anti-gay scene in this movie that's like very early on." And I was like thinking that was gonna be more explicit, but the exposition was like, she said she wanted her as her concubine, and she's like disgusted, no, and then she killed her entire family, and I was like, oh, okay.
But did
When
you
a bitch
notice
is
that
petty.
all of her like her like the people that sat with her near her throne were all women.
hmm
So and that was something
She's
that
gay, dude.
and it's so crazy that I read an article after I watched it the first time. It was like, but it was written in like 2009, so 30 years after the movie came out. But it was talking about the contemporary like viewing of using like lesbianism as the antagonist.
Yeah.
And this was written in 2009, and I was like, wow, it's crazy that we're still having these conversations 16 years later.
All of these movies at this time were like men made for men.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with this, like being a female protagonist, they still like needed to find that niche. Like they wanted it so bad that's why the lesbian is the antagonist. Or at least that's what I think. Cause like it had to be about Arnold Schwarzenegger somehow. Like we had to get there.
Yeah,
So Queen can't be the good person. Like
because the whole point
or
of it
king,
is that
I guess.
the Red Sonja is so powerful that she can only lie with a man unless she's like he's her equal or above. So it's
I
about
also
conquering
love how you have to like how they have to beat each other up.
Also did not know that was her. I did not hear that from the Force Ghost in the first. So when I read it over Wikipedia, I was like, wait, what? Is that her power? Her power is that
That's like
she's super
the
strong?
very last thing that she says.
Yeah,
So,
it was like right before she touches her.
Oh,
So,
and by the way,
yeah. Don't forget, y'all have to fight. Imagine getting into a new relationship and being like, hey, so we're gonna have to
trial by
fight
combat.
first. Yeah.
Hey, would you mind beating me in the sword fight first? Back to the talisman scene. What do you wanna talk about for that one?
Okay, well, we have to talk about because like I think it's just fun. Like the queen as a character is just so funny and I just think it's fun to watch. But in this scene they have the talisman and again, women have the whole thing is like all these women are like this is too powerful because we have the sense to know. We need to destroy it. And so they're starting what are they doing? They're just like closing like
They're just putting it down in a
encasing the
yeah.
In a hole. They're just
But
Okay.
except for
Yeah, the whole
except for like
not the
it
whole.
is such a slow process.
It's literally like
And I'm like, can you have like I feel like movie wise, like can you have caught them before they started it instead of telling us that they had started, but the rocks move so
so
slowly
slow.
that they can fight for a full 5 minutes before they like stop it from being captured?
And it's even not closed all the way, right? When
No,
they
it's
actually
not.
get to it.
because Gedrin opens it up again so she can throw everybody down there.
Right, yes. Um, so when Gedrin comes in, well, first of all, or Donovan, you had mentioned this in the chat, like as this is closing really slowly, there's like a shot from the roof where all the people are coming in, and like the way that the roof is shaped just doesn't seem like there'd be a huge giant opening on the top. But then when it cuts to like a closer shot, there is an enormous, like just direct shot to what the ritual they're doing, which doesn't make any sense if they're
I
like protecting a sacred item, right? Like,
No. They also don't, I just realized they didn't have any like sort of living quarters around the temple. So are these women only staying in the temple?
wait,
Well,
you're so
you know what
right.
this
Oh
you know what this
God.
scene reminded me of?
What?
Zack Snyder's Justice League. And when the Amazonians are sealing away the mother
Oh yeah,
box,
Oh
yes,
God,
yes,
it was
yes.
taking so long.
that scene
It was
literally
actually.
It
plays
was.
out the same way. They have their little temple on the edge of the island. They're sealing away the box. It's taking forever. The villain comes in, kills everybody, takes the box. Like it plays out the same way, which
Zack
makes me
Snyder
think.
plagiarized Red Sonja, 1985.
When you think he
Wait,
saw Red Sonja,
wait.
it was like, yeah, this we're cooking here.
This is like also the thing where it's like in horror and like, when you're like not to victim blame, but like you have a direct shot to the item and you're not expecting like a villain eventually to come get you.
Yeah.
You feel like you would, not blaming them, but like you reinforce it a little bit more, so it's a little harder for them
I
You
just
maybe
wouldn't
felt
to stay
like
think the
inside.
I just felt like because they showed us that they have guards, so like the priestess have like people to fight for them, right?
But no one
None
on
of
the roof?
none on the roof, none outside. They're all inside. They beat most of the men, and then more men come in, and then they all get thrown into the hole.
from nowhere. Like they push them back, and it's like, yeah, and then like 30 more men come in the room.
I want to say that this movie
Uh,
had their fight scenes. I actually kind of enjoy the fight scenes.
the
They
fight
were
scenes are
just so
fun.
long.
Just so long. And you were kind of like, because they didn't give you the exposition you needed, like you couldn't like you could appreciate what they were doing in terms of like the visual part of it.
Yeah, but
But
you're
like
like
the
story
actual
wise.
meaning, yeah, story wise, like I wasn't feeling the fantasy in the way I think they wanted us to. But also with this big gap in the roof, like the high priestess gets killed by like one throwing star, like immediately dead. Yep,
Her
and
immediately
body
loses like 5 gallons of blood.
right,
like
which is so crazy because it like barely touched her here.
And then the next
It's
time you
just,
show
like,
her, she got it
so
all
much
over her
blood.
arms.
it's like
and,
it didn't even
her
touch her in an
neck.
artery.
Being
Like it wasn't
dramatic
like
as hell.
anywhere in her body that
Traumatic
would
people when they die.
um and so like in this scene also Sonya's sister, who me and Emma were like, is this Sonya? I can't tell. Um leaves through a back passageway where I'm like, no one can hear this door say
As the stone grinds against itself.
there's a lot of part of this movie where I'm like, no one can hear. no one is not
can
hearing
hear. Yeah.
anything. I also love this scene afterwards because there's a giant zip line for some reason across the gorge. Not a bridge, but
That
a
would
zip.
crack me the fuck up because they were just outside. Like, where is this hanging?
Yes. And they also can only use it one way because it's not like they can zip line.
Who's bringing it back up to the top for the next person? Or you're
Uh,
not doing that? Like, no, it's so funny. And then, so I think the funniest part for me, I mean, all of it was so crazy, but when Gedrin gets in there and the talisman's exposed and, they're finally getting to pick it up, she asks one of the men to touch it, but she just goes, touch it. And he does and just disappears.
Poof.
No smoke, no sound effects. It's just like they just cut him out of the frame.
And then she looks at another woman and is like, touch it. And the woman's like, no. Because the man had just disappeared, as we know. And then she's like, touch it. And I guess that was enough for the woman to decide she'd risk her life.
I guess she was like, I'm gonna die anyway because she's probably
true.
gonna kill
If I don't do it, yeah, that's true. You're right. And she doesn't disappear. And then Gedrin's like, great. So it's true. It only disappears for men and women are fine. And I was like, I love how you just sacrificed a life.
A man. She's like, I don't actually, because I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, she
I don't care about
men. Fuck them men. What about men?
But the talisman is also crazy because later in the story, they're like, the talisman is powered by light. So she puts the talisman in a room full of, I want to say 1,000 candles to the point where her like grimy like right hand man is like, there's a lot of candles in this room, ma'am, and she's like, we need more. And I'm like, I wish they would give us a little bit more information about how this talisman works. That looks like a giant rock from Krypton.
None.
It looks like
No
it looks like the
information
COVID virus,
whatsoever.
guys.
Oh god.
Does it not?
I can see it.
That's the first thing I thought of.
I thought about kryptonite because
Yeah.
It's like COVID-19.
It is crazy too because this MacGuffin that powers the plot has zero explanation as to what it is, what it does, and why she can use it as like a weapon that produces lightning storms you can see from the distance.
We're just asking too much of them at this point.
no, we truly are because halfway through I was like, we're just introducing characters and killing them off. Like who is this guy? Like I needed a map desperately.
Yes. It's so Star Trek where it was like the red shirts new people every time. Like those people are dying constantly. Like I love how like Star Trek does not give a fuck about the characters. They don't care who lives or dies. They don't care. Like there's no continuity. That's what this was giving when Kiana brought it up. She's like, these characters are spawning. And they were. And then they were dying. And it didn't matter to me. It's all mush to me.
It's funny too because I think I know the scene you're specifically talking about where the Tarn's little boy, he tells her that like the only way to get to Gedrin's castle is to go. She pretty much had to go through a toll road.
Yes.
And he was collecting the toll, and
but
then
he wanted to sleep with her. The toll was her body.
He said,
Not
the
toll
tender
being
kind.
her
I wrote that down because I thought it was such an insane thing. The tender kind.
And then she was like, no. And so they fight to the death. She kills him. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to go. And then Caldor, because Arnold in this movie,
The wave he was on was so weird and eerie.
I'm sorry, all of us shaking our head at the same time.
Because it was weird. Like, it was just weird. He's like, I'm here. Okay. And
Why?
Yeah, but why?
Because they didn't tell us his whole mission until the end of the movie. Why didn't he tell her, hey, I used to be a part of the family that controlled the talisman? Why did he not mention that when he first met her?
Also, the fact that he knew her sister, like, and that she had like this conversation with him. Wouldn't you lead with that when you're talking to a stranger who doesn't trust you? Like, what do you mean?
He was so strange. He was so strange this movie. But like for the first hour, he only had 5 minutes of screen time because he would jump in, be like, "Go, Sonja, I got it," and then like you would not see him for another 20 minutes, and then he would do it again. And I was like, is he gonna be in this movie, or is he just gonna like jump in at random times?
He did that.
That's why they were trying to fool him.
Yes.
Because Maybe that's the early days when he was only there for a little bit.
Yeah, the
And then they were
cameo
like,
days.
yes, yes.
And they're like, you're actually gonna be like in the third act. That's like you
Yes.
need to be here for the third act.
When that monster came in the water, it was over.
Don't talk the monster.
Which going
Was it
back
a
to what we
monster? It was a monster, right?
It was a mechanical
Okay,
like
yeah, you're right. Mechanical.
monster. No, I only say it was
little like
mechanical because they kept
snake.
hitting it and then
Yeah,
be
it
like
was
ding ding
it was metallic. Yeah, I know.
and then
Is that a
like
nod to Terminator?
we actually because he's
it's actually not a Terminator Salvation. In 2009, they had water Terminators in that movie.
Okay, so there you go.
in the future they knew that they were gonna have water terminating. But that
Yeah, that scene is so fucking long. We were like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
so
And
were the
also, it's like,
actors because they were looking at him like
But this
I
goes
like how
back to
everyone gave it a go too. Like everyone gave it their best shot.
this goes back to talking about at the beginning. We were talking about how they just don't make movies like this anymore because they're on a little set. They're in their pool, and it's like they got this little. It's there. It's a tangible creature that they're hitting, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this looks stupid as hell, but like it also looks really cool because at least they're all in the shot.
Yes, they're all there.
and they're interacting with something tangible versus like a man in a green suit that's like rolling around for them. But it was just crazy because like Emma said, everyone took a turn. So everyone had a hit on the monster. And it wasn't until Arnold was like, "Hey guys, it's metallic. We actually can't kill it." And the monster's like actually choking him out.
Yes.
And like he's like actually fighting it.
The
and
monster
like
was
it's
so
just barrel
cute.
rolling like multiple times. And then they're just like, we need to pop out his eyes. And I'm like, how did we get here? Like, what?
I love this. The logic of this movie is hilarious because they just don't talk about anything. Like you just have to know you're not going to get an answer for what you want. Like they're not like,
Mhm.
this is the weakest point of this animal or whatever. Like nothing. They're just like,
Yes.
let's get the eyes, and then it's fine. Like they're saved. Also, I think in this scene it's funny too because it's not just like them actually like tangibly touching something like all of the cast, but that water was like the mini golf water that you go to that's like so blue
And
and like
disgusting looking.
yes, and like filthy looking, but you're like mesmerized by it while you're there. That's how I felt watching this scene. It was all so fun.
There's probably so many chemicals in that water to keep it blue.
Oh yeah, like it's
I'm
disgusting.
surprised their skin wasn't blue after like getting out of the water. But I also
Yes.
I forgot to mention, okay, there's a whole B plot in this movie. If you can say there's an A plot, there's a whole B plot where like Sonya's teaching the young prince not to be a dick. And like it's such a strange B plot that it feels like they're like, you know what this movie needs? A child. And then we need to bring a child in somehow in this movie. And I'm like, you actually didn't need to have this character at all.
This movie is such a
Child
like
labor
here
laws
damn.
were a little different back then.
It's such a here damn movie because you get your woman character and the child is the second star, and then Arnold is like you get the men to come because they're gonna go see Arnold. So like
Yeah.
And they're like, we have to make this relatable to kids somehow. And then they're like, here's this kid who's like really mean, but like needs to be taught a lesson. But doesn't really learn a lesson. He just becomes nicer.
He like says he learns a lesson. It's like actions speak louder than words, and the actions I was seeing were not showing me he learned his lesson.
No, there was actually no actions that made me feel like he had earned his character development.
like you
Yeah.
just said, he just became nicer.
Yeah, he was just all of a sudden kind.
But she was
Also,
gonna
she was like, yeah, she was about to, yeah, you can know.
No, 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 you
We're
say
gonna
it.
say the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, she was about to like spank him, which is crazy.
Yeah, because in their first meeting, she tells Falcon, his bodyguard, you need to put him over your knee and teach him some manners. Why? Why did she do that?
It just doesn't make sense. And then so she's about to put him over the knee, and then he's like, please don't do that. But then later, like she's so annoyed with him, obviously, like she's about to spank him. But then later she sees him sword fighting by himself, and she's like, that rascal. Like
taught him
all of a
so
sudden
much.
she's okay with it. Like I'm just...
I've taught him all he knows.
That's why it's like
That's
these
my
are like
boy.
mini episodes, and like we missed like a mini episode. That's how it felt. Like, oh, there was a mini episode in between the spanking episode and her being like, "Let me teach him how to," because fighting is not just fighting. You have to like learn how to fence, and like you're like,
Yes.
what?
There's more to being a man. A real man is one who's kind, you know?
Yeah, that's what she
That's
said.
what
She was
she
like,
said.
Falcon is a real man.
Which, debatable,
Best character in the movie, though.
for
No,
sure.
he was the best.
He was the
We
best
we haven't even
character.
talked about the acting, guys. Let's
Oh
talk about
God,
the acting.
Oh
Oh
gosh.
God.
Okay, we can't be too hard though because this was Bridget Nielsen's first acting role.
And
I
it
actually-
showed. It showed.
They found her. She was a model, and De Laurentiis found her like saw her in a magazine and was like, "That's my movie star."
Honestly, I wish I was on a magazine and it is picked up like that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
I feel
It just looks like flat. Like,
honestly, like out of Arnold, to me, had the worst acting.
yes.
I think he
Yes.
had the worst.
Well, I
acting.
think now that we know he didn't want to be there, it actually makes a lot of sense.
But like, is he a good actor though? Like,
No.
I've seen-
I've been
I've seen all his
dying to talk
classic
about
movies.
this shit. I've been dying to talk about this shit. No, he's not. He's not.
No, he's
and
not.
I love him dearly.
That's why he only has 200
Like-
lines in the Terminator movies, right? Yeah, like
That's why they had to make him a fucking robot, bro. Then it made sense for his character.
This is a quick story about Arnold. Is that me and Donovan, my family, we watch Jingle All the Way almost every Christmas, which is an Arnold movie, and like we love it because it's just like so bad that it's good at this point. But like we don't watch it because we're like, wow, Arnold's really acting really well
Yeah.
in this movie. We watch it because it's like can't be fun, but he's not good. You're like,
No,
he's like,
just
that's my
not.
#1 customer, and you're like,
No.
okay.
I think that there's something to say probably about like his personality in person. Like I feel like maybe he was just like a really charismatic, like I don't know. Like how are we booking all these roles, you know?
Because he was a strong man, and I feel like
Yeah.
all,
True. I guess
all
just,
his
like, being a
roles
man.
have been like strong men roles.
That's true. That's true.
So when he does the family, like Jingle All the Way is a family friendly movie, but he still somehow is a strong man, and that
Right.
one that it like works enough for it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
his
like Vin
first,
Diesel in
like,
the pacifier.
his first like real starring role is Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
So like
So-
that.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's the Terminator, then it's Commando, then it's Red Sonja, then it's Commando. Like
Yeah.
he found a niche and he stuck to it.
Respect,
yeah.
honestly.
Like he has made millions of more than I'll ever
Millions.
make.
Yeah.
So. But no, he was really bad in this.
No, just so flat.
Everyone's super flat. It really felt like they were just reading off the cards. They were like, now it's time for me to move here. And you're like, okay.
It's the Avatar: The Last Airbender show.
Oh God. No, it felt like because like a lot of things were happening to them that required emotion. And it just they weren't like
None. None
Could-
whatsoever.
no
No.
fear, no like sadness.
Yeah.
It was always just the same level.
I feel like I agree, and I think it was very flat, but maybe there could be an argument made for just like 80s movies because like they are so campy. So it's like, given the material, what can you know, like how much can you really do to make it serious? I think that there
mean-
are some exceptions, but like
It depends on the genre. 'Cause,
I know,
like,
but I feel like for this genre, like for this
no.
movie, how much
Yeah,
can you
I
really
definitely agree.
do?
I
But,
know.
Like, would it have been worse to watch if they had taken it too seriously? You know what I mean?
Yes. Like, okay, so I just watched Tron, the original 80s movie. Loved it.
I
It
should
wasn't
watch that.
good.
Yeah,
It wasn't
wanna
good
watch
at
it then.
all. But I loved it dearly. And I feel like that was like taking itself seriously enough. But there were some moments where I'm just like, I don't know, like I wrote this on my notes was that like, do you know what like the 80s silence do you understand what I mean by like that? There's like some moments of this movie where like nothing, like things were happening, but it was complete
There's no
silence.
Yes,
music.
There's no
yes,
music,
yes,
there's
Holy
nothing.
effect.
It's
Yeah.
just like
yes.
silence, and you're like, why does every 80s movies have this like big scene and there's like nothing? And you're like,
They're
The
oh.
like,
sound of clink, clink, clink,
yes.
and the
They're like,
shuffle of the feet on the floor.
That's it.
they're like, you're overstimulated. Let me give you a moment.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That is a thing for sure. I feel like I've noticed that. But then you're like, it's also, or just depending on the movie, it can be so chaotic that
Yeah.
that maybe people just took that with more of a grain of salt, where they're like, okay, like I don't know, maybe people weren't noticing that as much. I don't know. But
I mean, yeah, we're looking at it in the terms of 2025
yeah,
eyes. We're like, you watch a superhero movie and every scene has music in it, but like you watch a horror movie and it's like 5 musical tracks in the entire movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
there anything else we really want to talk about? Because I know we talked about pacing a little bit and how the pacing was crazy in
It
this
was
movie.
Start and
crazy.
stop.
Yes, there was some moments that I was like, are we ever gonna get to the Queen's lair? Because the way we're going now is like we're gonna meet another
Yeah.
ragtag group of people to join
Yeah,
the
when they
club.
met
Like
Falcon and Taryn, it was like, oh, we're really going off
the
on this side.
scene right before they storm the castle is their simulated sex sword fight.
Oh yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
And the
true.
next scene, they're already outside of the castle going, all right, how are we going to get in, guys?
You're like, how did we get here? Because it was taking you 5 ever to get to just anywhere.
They got really horny and then they were ready to go.
Yeah, we actually should talk about the sword fight that
We
Dom just mentioned.
should. We should. Just the messaging here about like her relationship with men was just so interesting because like he didn't really earn it. Like she had this crazy high bar and then I mean she was told by the spirit ghost like what the bar was, I guess to her credit. And then like she's interested in him. I don't know. It was just it all happened so quickly. So then the sword fight being so long and like just how it was visually was just so interesting. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, it was weird because in the first scene that we see her as a swordsman, the Grandmaster guy, she's like a guy comes in to hug her and she's like, ugh. And the Grandmaster guy's like, you need to learn how to trust men. And I was like, okay, so like throughout this
Do I?
movie,
Do I though? Is
yeah,
what
I
I was
mean,
just
like,
saying.
I think she was fair throughout this movie not to trust men.
No,
Okay.
and the men were being stupid. So it was kind of
But
like,
here's the crazy thing though. Why does she need to learn how to trust men when a woman caused her all the problems in her life?
that's the other thing.
That actually literally just beamed into my brain at like Mach speed because
Well,
I
that's
was like, wait a
because she
minute, that
was
doesn't make any
sexually
sense.
assaulted by men.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Which I also am like, again, that just didn't
Why?
need to, yeah, like she could have hated that queen with that for murdering her family.
Right. Like it just didn't need to be included.
Um, so yeah, so she hates men, but like she's fine with the Falcon and Prince Tarn, like they become buddy buddies almost instantly. And then like Caldor, she's like a little annoyed by, and since he pops up, so like he saves her life a couple times, and he comes back
Like
and
a
he's
good
like,
man should.
yeah, like a strong man should. And he comes back and he's like, "Hey, I'm also like related to the talisman priest people." And she's like, "You know what? I trust you now." Except for she should have been thinking, "Why did this man not tell me that first? I don't
Right.
trust him."
He just
actually."
didn't earn it. Like he just didn't do anything. He, in theory, stalked her.
Yes, that man was a stalker. I was like, "How does he keep finding her?"
And there's no like sense of scale of how big this land is supposed to be. So you don't know how long that they're traveling for, how long Caldor's
No.
traveling for. It's just she is there at the place to pay the toll. She kills Brightag, and then he immediately appears right after her. And it's like, was he? Do you think he was just standing behind the wall, like,
Yes.
okay, she
Yes.
killed him. Let me make my move.
But like also like the worst scene I thought was when they were in the cavern, which they were led to the cavern by the evil queen. So he had followed her through the rain into the cavern, waits until they're being viciously attacked by the killing machine monster, and then he's like, had a whole outfit change, mind you, because he was wearing red, and then
Yes.
he
They're
was,
like black and gold.
and then he was like, "Hey, Sonja," ugh, and I'm like, "Where have you been?"
I love the camp of it all. That's why it's so funny. The man's movies at the time are so funny because they're just so camp. So I'm like, you're
Yes.
trying to be masculine, but what you're actually watching is so silly. You're watching drag. Like, let's just say you like drag and go. No, it is so funny. And just like the sword fight too at the end, I love how like Falcon and Taryn are just like, let's leave. Like they're just done with it. Like after the lengthy one before. Like, okay,
The lengthy
these
one
two.
before was so funny because they also was like, "Can they just stop?" Like they literally like, "We want to sleep," and they've been fighting all night, like from dawn to dusk.
Yeah,
They were
it
fighting.
was you
Literally.
was like, yeah, you were like, it's so dark, and it was like, I think it's dawn now because
But
it's
no,
like
it was
a
like
light blue.
like even the dark scenes beforehand had like some sort of like visual that you could see, but in that scene it was like complete darkness. I was like turning up my brightness to be like, can I actually see what's going on? But yeah, so like the end of the movie also happens really quickly because she like sword fights. We didn't even talk about the magic. I'm sorry. We didn't talk about the magic
But
at
here's the
all.
thing, what is there to talk about? Like the magic is not consistent. There's just like the whole thing is like there's no continuity. There's
The
nothing.
magic is just not explained.
That is
No.
true. That is true because the magic seems like science because he's throwing like potions on the ground and somehow is teleporting her to different places. But I just like the scene because he's doing it while they're sword fighting in the same room. And then Sonya just looks over and he's like, "Oh no, I've been caught." And then like gets decapitated almost instantly. And I'm like, "You didn't see this man throwing potions like the entire time?"
He wasn't
He
even
was
doing.
not
He
he
was
wasn't
standing
hiding.
there with a little dagger, and he was just like drawing in his pot of goop. He didn't throw nothing in there, but he has this elaborate setup, which I guess this came out the year after David Lynch's Dune, which was also produced
Oh yeah.
by
Paul
Dina
Atreides.
Laurinaitis,
Sorry.
and that set kind of have you seen the 83
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
that
I love Dune.
the throne room set gave me
Yes,
same
no.
vibes.
Yes, no, you're right. You're right. I forgot, like, I don't know why I didn't think about them being so close together too, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Well, well, the pacing was also like heretic, where it's so like some of it's just so slow, and then they like crammed everything in the last act, and you're like, I was excited for like the action to be happening because I felt like, I don't know, we had just watched The Journey for so long. So I was like,
yes.
okay, I'm like ready for things to come together. But then it was just so like, it was just like, okay,
Yeah.
all at once. We also have to talk about them falling into the lava at the end.
After their very lengthy sword fight, which wasn't bad, it was just really edited weird. Like it
It
was,
was so
especially
gay to me too.
at the end when she's doing like all the strikes. It's like shot of Red Sonja, shot of Gedra, shot of Red Sonja, shot of Gedra. Like it was just like a
Yes, it
very
was just the back
frenetic.
and forth. Yes,
Did she stab her in the stomach?
I think so, right?
That's what the Wikipedia said.
Yeah, I think
It.
so.
I think they show her jab. They don't. They just show her like neck up. They don't show where she
Yeah, because
stabbed
she's
her. I'm
like,
pretty sure.
And then she
but
like
they had just showed that person bleeding out earlier. It's also
yeah,
funny, just like what they
I
decide to do
do
there.
think it's crazy because I feel like maybe halfway through the filming they were like, we've been showing a lot of blood. Because it feels like halfway through they like stopped like showing so much blood and killing
Yeah,
and was like, we need to like tone this down. Like after the toll road incident, they don't really they fight like the bandits and that's not like
yeah,
as bad. But like anytime Caldor hits people, it's not as bad as hers. Because I feel
yeah,
like his sword is still full of blood, but hers is like coated in enemy blood.
You actually just reminded me because when they fight the bandits, she chops up the lead bandit. She gives him like 3 slices in the stomach, and there's
yeah.
no blood.
Not
And
He
it's,
one.
had like
they
one
wasted.
slice and he was like, ugh.
And then he was already like, ugh, and she went like she's Zorro or something.
Because she hates men, Donovan.
I
And she
mean,
She
shouldn't.
hates men.
What
they were
about
drawn.
men?
they were drawing and quartering a 10-year-old.
Yeah,
So,
that was
like,
awesome.
That was so crazy. Like so much has happened that I feel like I've repressed memories because I was just like,
It's also funny because like Falcon just shows up because I was like, "Where's Falcon?" And Falcon just shows up and he was like, "Sorry, I was hunting." And I'm like, "You didn't hear them draw and quarter your
he's like
10-year-old kid?"
screaming too.
Yes, and he's like,
as his limbs are getting ripped from the sockets.
But you talking about Falcon just reminded me that I wanted to talk about the scene where he like falls into the dinner table and he's like, "What's everyone having for dinner?" and eats a huge bite of a chicken. And then they all start fighting.
But that's so 80s because like all those bad guys like waited for him to say something clippy, and then was like, and then immediately started fighting. And this is
Scooby, very Scooby-Doo of them.
Yes. And then Caldor,
Yeah.
Arnold's character is just like there again. He's like, "Don't worry, I got it." And then just slicing and dicing people. While like Falcon has like this bone.
Comically oversized Flintstone ass bone. Like he's oh god, why can I not Fred Flintstone?
But that's so. Why is Caldor so nonchalant about like fighting when he could have just been more helpful each fight that he just like sits in the wings for?
Yeah, he's like Tuxedo Mask in that one.
Because by that point he had
true.
realized the scam and he was like, I can't leave because I will be sued. So,
But no, yeah, so also this movie ends really abruptly because like the Queen's lair like blows up and then like the group is like, "Okay, I guess we'll split up." Which I don't really understand where Sonja and Arnold's
They're
gonna
just
go.
making out, buddy.
yeah, I don't they all could have just gone back to Havelock. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like Speed, where it was just Sandra and Keanu making out at the end. I was like, it's over?
that's it.
That's how it felt here. I was like, oh, okay.
So, but yeah, so I can't imagine what the 2025 version of this movie will be.
I'm like, I kind of excited to see it, honestly,
The
because
reviews
they can't do the same stuff, right?
The reviews are like mixed.
Interesting. Well,
I thought it looked like a straight video on demand movie, and it did pretty much go straight to video on demand. So
Okay.
well, the comments.
So it's following its predecessor well.
Because if you want to watch this movie, you can watch it for free on YouTube. There's like, if you just
I'll
Google
link
it, you
for
can
guys.
you can find it. And all the comments that I was reading beforehand was like, "Oh my God, this is one of the best films. I love this film. I've seen it like 30 times." And I'm like,
Is Red Sonja a cult classic? Am I
it's
missing
still like a little bit on certain
yeah, remember
people.
it came out in the middle of the 80s. Reagan was already president when this movie came out, so you gotta remember everybody.
Wait, that's why
Reaganism
this
bug
is
was already
so
planted.
homophobic, guys. What were you thinking?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, what were we thinking?
Yeah, wait. Why was that not our first thought?
Because the 80s.
Oh God, the 80s.
So yeah, so just to let you know that Red Sonja is a movie about loving men and hating women, specifically lesbians, because they're evil and will destroy the world for
And if you reject their advances, they'll kill your entire family.
yes.
Yep, I've heard that.
So beware. But yeah, that's
Red Sonja, guys.
we like to rate it, Donovan, out of 10, and you can pick whatever you want. Like you can be like 5 Red Sonjas or like whatever.
Or it could be like something more niche for like 5 water monsters.
Or something like that. So we're gonna give you time to do it, but I can rate first.
Yeah, you go first.
I am gonna give this 5 Falcon Clubs.
Damn, I was gonna do 5 Falcon Clubs.
Because one, I had fun watching this movie. I didn't go into this movie thinking it was gonna be good.
No,
I had no expectations for this movie. I was like, this movie's gonna be really terrible. And as we talked about it before, it was really terrible, but like had that 80s charm that I really think pushed it through. Like if it wasn't made in the 80s, I really felt like this would have been miserable to watch. But halfway through, I was like, this movie feels like it's been on for hours.
Yeah.
Only watched 40 minutes. And I'm also like, this is also an 80s thing where their movies are like 90 minutes long, but I'm like, it feels like I've been watching this for like
Cram
for years.
everything in there.
But yeah, I had fun. If you just want a fun, campy fantasy movie, go ahead, check out Red Sonja. Ignoring all the like homophobic stuff and like
Yeah.
sexism and stuff like that.
Oh gosh. Okay. I think I'm gonna do five. Wait, what's the queen's name? Why am I forgetting right now?
Gedrin.
Thank you so much. Fine Gedrins falling into the lava out of 10. Um, yeah, I agree. I think I just love like campy movies. Like it's just always so fun. But I feel like, it wasn't good, but I think I would have fun. Like I had fun watching it, and I think I would have fun showing other people this movie. Like I think it's a fun one to like see what other people think of it. But yeah, the pacing was just crazy. It was just a crazy time,
Yeah.
but
It's
I
no
enjoyed it.
Trolls too.
It's no Trolls 2, that's for damn sure. Oh God. I forgot about Trolls 2. But it was still like fun to watch, and I don't know, it was fun to think about like what they were making at this time, like just the 80s in general. So, all right, Donovan.
So when I logged in on Letterbox, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. So I guess to extrapolate it to a bigger 10 out of 10, it'd be a 4 out of 10. So I'll give it 4 being tricked into starring in this movie by your producer friend out of 10.
So just a picture of
Um
Arnold.
yeah.
Yes.
Um I I always have an appreciation for how a movie is made more so than anything. And I think it looked really good. Like I said, like everything is physical, and will get me that'll always get you points in my book. And I like the music. I'm one of those people that listens to music in movies. I think literally one of the worst movies that I've seen this year was Jurassic World Rebirth, but the
Oh, so
Alexandria
bad.
Desplat score is really good. And I gave that movie like a star and a half because the score is really good. like
What
Yeah.
a
I
terrible
think
film that
That
was.
movie was so bad.
horrible. Yeah, but
Generally one of
I
the worst.
listen to the final track on that soundtrack. It's called Sailing Away. Is when they're sailing away at the end of the movie. I was like, damn, this would be in a better movie.
It was
Yeah.
good. I thought I was crying at that point because I wasn't expecting to see. Anyways,
but yeah, so I liked the way the movie looked, and I liked the music, but like I guess it's kind of like a car, and it's like okay, you have a body, but you don't really have an engine, and the actors are the engine that makes the
Yeah.
car go.
To bring it
mm,
all
Every,
together.
yeah.
everybody is terrible in this, and like from top to bottom, like Bridget Nielsen, this was her first starring role. Arnold, this was like this was maybe like his eighth or ninth movie, but
He's a
this was
leading man at this point, so he should be
yes,
better.
he's
Yeah, he
like
should be
he's
better.
had
Yeah.
2 Conan movies and the Terminator at this point. Like he should be better. And then Eddie Reyes Jr. He became a stunt actor. He actually did the
Who is the
suit.
little kid? Also to
Yes,
get here.
Oh, okay, okay.
he did the suit acting for Donatello in the
Oh,
'90s
that's crazy.
Turtles movies. Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I could
yeah.
tell because he seemed like he's very much like a martial artist kind of kid. So I was like, oh,
Right.
he's
Yeah,
probably
I
gonna
could
do like that. I think
stage
the best
combat.
actor was Falcon because he was the one
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was like
Yes.
generally like expressed emotions
yeah,
throughout
But
his
also he was goofy enough that it didn't go into straight parody,
yes.
but it still fit in this world of like because I mean I'm you don't see it, but I feel like this world has like dragons and other mystical elements like
Yeah.
that. But here comes this big old like bumbling guy who he's a big old fool, but he has a weapon. He is a menace with his bones. So like
It's giving Power Rangers. It was giving me like Power Rangers camp with Bulk and Skull, right? That was the name.
yeah,
Where they were just like things were serious in the background, and then they were just like, "Whoa, what kind of weird thing
I
we're doing over here?" And then they would get serious sometimes, depending on the episode. So it was giving that like dramatic flair,
love
um,
it.
for sure. But
Yeah.
um, so
Well, thanks for replacing Emily for this episode.
yeah.
thank you for having me.
Thank you for, I guess, the suggestion. I guess it's a
No,
thank you.
Of
it was
course.
fun. It was something different.
Yeah.
Something different.
We're hoping to do a horror movie next. So maybe when
Yes.
Emily comes, Donovan, since you love horror movies, maybe you can come back and do a horror
Yeah.
movie with
Come
us.
do another one
Um,
because
Ex-
trying to get
Excited
into
for
our horror.
the month of masterpieces. They're doing the horror movies at Regal.
Did they confirm that?
Oh, I saw
I saw
some
rumors. I saw whispers, but no confirmation.
pretty much, but somebody who posted it online. They said
That's
they
what I
worked
saw
there,
too.
so
But then I was like, I'm not gonna get too excited.
it was a full month. It was a full month. Like, did you see the one where it was like every day?
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
that's because
so
they
I
did
believe
the
it.
releases this month. That's why
Yeah,
Kiana saw Shawshank.
yeah.
see it again. It was great.
I
Did you
know.
did
No,
you
I'm happy for you.
did you know about those before I told you, Kiana, or did Emma tell you first?
I
Emma
don't
told
think
me about the
I think
Halloween ones.
I
Are you
didn't tell you
excited?
about these. I did know about them though.
No. You told me about the September ones, but Emma sent me the Reddit post about the October ones coming out before you did.
Okay,
So, but
I'm
yeah,
on that
so
Regal Unlimited Reddit.
yeah, that's what
me
I
too.
get
Me too.
I actually get all my information about movies from these two. So, it's actually great for me because I don't have to do any extra work. They just send me the links and I'm
The
like,
vibes are great on that. I'll be
They
honest.
are like
Great vibes.
what was oh god, what was the mystery movie that week? I think it was Eden.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it was Relay. It was Relay, and I didn't know if I wanted to see it or
Maybe it was
not.
the. Oh yeah.
And
it was
it had
Relay.
I thought it was
gotten
Eden, but maybe not.
it was
It
Eden
doesn't
was the
matter.
week after.
Oh, okay,
Eden was the
okay.
week after Relay, but I remember Relay had come out, and I watched the trailer. It stars Riz Ahmed, and I was like,
Oh yeah, yes.
I'm not feeling this. And at one of my other friends, him and his girlfriend, they go see the AMC A List, which is another the AMC mystery movie, which is the same movie as the
Yeah.
Regal mystery movies. And I was
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
Oliver, I'm gonna get on the game tonight because I was gonna go to the movie, but then I saw what the movie was. It didn't really interest me. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Watch the trailer and come back to me. And him and his girlfriend, they've seeing because they have AMC A List. They see all kinds of bullshit, and that was the first time he was like, "Yeah, this wasn't speaking to me either."
Yeah. No.
Yeah, audience, again, this is not a Regal Unlimited ad. Regal,
No.
please sponsor us if you want
Regal
us.
sponsor
Regal.
us.
But we're all
Please,
three
actually, I'm
Regal
dying.
Unlimited
Regal Unlimited
members,
strong.
so we love to go see. Now we just see random movies that we would never. Donovan has a
I
whole
love
list
that
of
though.
movies that he's seeing that I'm like, I have never even heard some of these titles that you're gonna go see.
And it's funny
Well,
because some of
it's
them,
great.
the October ones, some of the October ones, I haven't even seen the trailer for them yet because I didn't see Together, but Connor and John saw Together, and
It's on
just like
streaming now.
It's on
I
streaming
still-
now.
I think so.
I don't like body horror.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
But the trailer for what it was like Shelby Oaks and the Keeper play.
Oh
in front
yes,
of
yes.
Together, and it's on my list, but I haven't seen the trailer for those movies yet.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
trailer for After the Hunt? Because I just watched that one the first time, and I was like, "Oh, this is what this movie is about."
I saw it in front of The Departed, I think.
It's gonna be a crazy movie because I'm gonna
Yeah.
always be believing women, and so I'm gonna be like, "Don't gaslight me into not believing women."
Especially a
First of
black
all, yeah,
First
especially
of
a black
all.
woman
Yeah.
over a white man. Please be
But
Not
They
me.
should
Not me.
They should have casted a different white man because I'm like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a more sinister
That's a
white man.
uptight. He's not a sinister white man, but he might be.
No.
We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, After the
I'd
Hunt,
like
that's
to see him try. I'm excited
But-
to see it.
Anyway,
Yeah, no, we love Regal Unlimited.
Yeah, we
so
do love
please
Regal
give
Unlimited.
us that for free.
oh yeah, that would be great.
I'll take it. We'll all take one.
Yeah, just 1 month. Let's start off
Maybe
with 1 month.
get Dennis Wilkerson on the line actually, because I think he could get it done for us.
Let's get that Wilkerson charm all over.
Oh my
Regal.
God, the Wilkerson charm. You're
Yes,
so
dude.
right.
We get the free Regal Unlimited. We gotta do one review on the Regal movie every time.
We could
That would
easily
be
do that.
fine. I
Yeah,
could
we
do
would
that
be fine.
easily.
We would sell our
Regal
souls.
influencer.
Yeah, come on.
I'm
be for
down.
real.
I'd
but
say less.
but we can't choose the movie. They choose it for us.
I don't
That's
care.
okay. Again,
We don't
fine
choose.
with me.
We don't really choose these movies that we end up watching on these podcasts.
no, they kind of come to us.
Because we were gonna watch the World of the Worlds movie.
I can't wait.
That movie's terrible. Donovan said he didn't want to watch it because he didn't want to drink. And so
Yeah,
So I'm
drank-
saying
I-
sober tonight.
Yeah,
he's like, I got work.
I watched that movie and I was like, I think pretty much by like 40 minutes into this 90-minute movie, I'd already drinking like 6 drinks because it
Oh my
was 'cause
god!
we were playing a drinking game. And we were
Okay.
like, okay, drink every time. It's supposed to be a movie that takes place entirely on a computer, but drink every time there's a dolly zoom or something like
Ooh.
that. And there's like 3 or 4 of them in that movie. So
But
Okay.
yes, thank you for listening to us. Again, this is probably why we need Emily, because this is kind of a
Yeah.
rambling one.
But you know what? I liked it. The vibes were good. The vibes were
We
good.
probably learned so many different facts about things that are not about Red Sonja.
But that might be good for us, honestly, because we're not bringing the facts to the podcast often. So
We're just bringing the
that
vibes.
might be good. That might be good for us. That might
I
be
love
good for us.
facts. I'm a very big trivia guy. So
No.
Maybe,
It was
we
good
just bring
for us.
Donovan in to give the facts, and then he can leave afterwards.
A Donovan's corner.
Yeah. It's like, hey, man, give us the facts. Give us the car facts.
We need a man to give us the facts.
Obviously, because
If we
trust-
learned anything from
we
Red
trust
Sonja.
men.
Yes.
Believe that.
Yes. All right.
Anyway, this was what did we just watch? You're not gonna join in, Donovan?
I didn't know what the cadence was.
We don't really have one.
Okay.